Hey, what's up? I have made a decision. I'm going on my first rant ever in my YouTube channel history, and here we go. WWE fans always say that WWE has changed so much, and I agree with that statement. It's not that we need to bring everybody back. We don't have to bring people like Ric Flair, The Rock, and everybody like that back. Yeah, it would be great, but don't get me wrong, I love both of them, but that's not the problem, if you know what I mean. Like, you see what goes on with the WWE. I mean, when they had to show when they had Raw at the Garden with Roddy Piper as the guest host, that was a great Raw. When they had Jesse Ventura as the guest host, that was a great Raw. When they have fucking the same shit over and over again, that's not a good Raw. You see, it's not that we need our old superstars back, even though that would be great. It's not like, alright, well, we'll bring this guy back and he'll change all WWE's problems. No. Vince McMahon has the power to make a good Raw. But it's just not happening. I think that one thing that really stands out is that they need to change the Titantron back to what it used to be. Even though this sounds very stupid, that Raw with Jesse Ventura was great, but I was like, there's something missing. And then I realized, I was like, well, we need that Titantron back, man. And same thing, like the Fist for SmackDown. That's fucking awesome. I mean, look, it's not like they're cutting everybody, right? We still got half the people, they just don't use them right. Like, why the fuck would you turn Batista heel? I mean, yeah, he's good at it, but that's not like the olden time, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people say, like, bring back 2004, when I'm saying, like, bring back 2006 or 2007, because that right there was great. Like, here's the time period I'm talking about. I've been a hardcore WWE fan for a while now, and here's what I'm talking about. My first ever show that I went to was at Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, and it was a SmackDown and ECW show. Now, this was the time period that I'm talking about. As stupid as this sounds, this is the time period that we need to bring back. It was on October 30th, 2007 was the taping, and it was great. I mean, it was the night after Cyber Sunday, right? Batista had beat The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship. As a face, they didn't need heel versus face. They didn't need that because you got a rivalry going on right now. The same rivalry. It's Undertaker versus Batista, but Batista's a heel now. So, therefore, it's a completely different rivalry. It's not the classic Undertaker-Batista rivalry. It's not the same. Batista's a different wrestler now. Heels work slowly. Faces run. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same match anymore. It's not going to be your classic one-on-one Clash of the Titans, Batista versus Undertaker. No. It's going to be like Randy Orton versus The Undertaker. A major heel versus a major face. Now, they could try this, but in my opinion, Batista as a heel just doesn't fit. Like, he's a great heel, but it's just not fitting, if you know what I mean. Because Batista has been in the business for so long as a face. I mean, he hasn't been a heel since Evolution. And I mean, I just think it was kind of bad timing on WWE's part. And you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. When I went to Hell in a Cell back in October, I called a heel turn that night. It didn't happen until the next pay-per-view, but I did call it that night. And everybody that was with me was like, dude, are you out of your mind? He's not turning heel. Next month, got turned heel. So, it's just like, please, alrighty, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta stop with that. CM Punk is a heel. You know what? As stupid as this sounds, and especially because he's my favorite wrestler, just, like, this is gonna sound so stupid because he's my favorite wrestler, but send him back to ECW. Just do it. Just do it. Just send him back to ECW. You wanna know why? Because WWE, again, is treating him the same way they did on Raw after he cashed in the Money in the Bank. Alright, here's what happened 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago now, June 2008. CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship by cashing his Money in the Bank briefcase in on Edge. After, well, let's see. The first time he defended it was against Batista at the Great American Bash, which I was at. I attended that pay-per-view. And Kane came out and interfered, so CM Punk still held the title. So it wasn't like CM Punk proved himself enough. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, oh shit, he beat Batista, he's big. It was like, no. He got DQ'd and he retained the title, whatever. Then, next pay-per-view, SummerSlam. Beat JBL to retain it, right? And then I think the next one was Unforgiven, where there's a scramble match. And they made him lose that championship in such a bullshit way. Alright? Such a bullshit way. He wasn't even my favorite back then, but I still knew it was total bullshit what they did to him. Because fucking, he was supposed to be in that scramble match and Randy Orton attacked him. So now what, Chris Jericho just takes his spot and he doesn't even get really a fair shot at it? I mean, he had like a steel cage match the next night or some shit. Alright, so that's what happened that year. I was like, alright, well, he could keep going with it. No. Then he gets moved down. You don't see him for a couple weeks. Then, out of the blue, he becomes tag team champions with Kofi Kingston. And, like, that's when he, like, started to downgrade. After they lost those titles to Ted and Cody, he beat William Regal to get the IC title. Then I called, like, him being, like, drafted on Raw to go to SmackDown. So he goes to SmackDown, and he's still, like, like, he is a little bit bigger, and he's in more of the main event wise. But it's still like, what are you gonna do with this guy? He's got so much potential. What are you gonna do with him? So he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase again. And guess what? He cashes it in on Jeff Hardy. Oh my God. 2 pay-per-views later, he loses it again. You see the pattern here? And now, look what's happening. He's going down, down, down. He lost it to The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, which I was at. So, him and Jeff Hardy switched off a couple of times with the title. But as it went down and down and down and down, he started getting lower and lower and lower. So low to the point where he's in rivalry with R-Truth right now. Okay? CM Punk, the former, 4-time or 5-time World Heavyweight Champion, is in a rivalry with R-Truth. Now, does that sound right? Is there something wrong with me? Because, to me, that's bullshit. He should be in the main event spot. And then, it's like, what are you doing? Because at TLC, he was on the poster, but he wasn't in the pay-per-view. What? I mean, yeah, what the fuck? And then he lost to R-Truth in a dark match. Really? You make him lose to R-Truth in a dark match. It's just like, cut the guy a break. Alright, so that's enough about my rant on CM Punk. Here's my next rant that's been a popular one with me for about 4 years now. What are you doing with ECW? No, I'm just kidding. That sounded pretty gay. But Philadelphia ECW